Turning to news from around the region now, Hong Kong has announced new restrictions to curb a surge in coronavirus infections there. These include a ban on gatherings of more than 2 people, and for the first time since the outbreak began, there will also be a total ban on dining in restaurants in the city. 145 new cases have been reported. That is a new daily high. Roland Lim with this report.
Hi there. Yes, short of ordering people to stay at home or to work from home, authorities have clamped down further on safe distancing measures here. Now, they say they are trying to balance the science and the safeguarding of public health. They are also trying to keep the city running, as well as the public acceptance of the new restrictions in place. So for 1 week, starting from Wednesday midnight, 4 additional new measures. There'll be no dining in for restaurants or cafes. The sitting areas have to be closed, and restaurants will only be allowed to have a waiting area. It'll also be mandatory to wear masks now in all outdoor public places. Now, previously, masks were only mandatory in indoor public places. Only reasonable excuses are exempt: eating or drinking or taking of medicine. Authorities not granting exemptions for people exercising in public outdoor areas or smoking. Now, community centres, swimming pools, as well as sports venues remain closed. And finally, group gatherings will also be halved from groups of 4 people allowed in public to just 2 people. Exemptions, however, will be granted to families with members of up to 4 or household members of up to 4 people. Now, reaction has been that more needs to be done by the government. For example, authorities need to encourage more private businesses to implement work from home arrangements in order to lower the demand of takeaway services at restaurants in the business district especially. Now, restaurants should be encouraged to provide takeaway meals in order to avoid overcrowding if some or most of these restaurants decide to shut down because they don't want to do takeaway business. Well, others will have long queues, and experts worry that the filling of the streets with these long lines of people during lunch or dinner time may inadvertently increase the risks of transmission. So the main message is to provide more people with work from home arrangements and for restaurants to increase their takeout supply. Infectious diseases experts also say that the government should consider restricting the number of people entering supermarkets as well as wet markets to reduce crowd gathering there. Another concern, elderly care homes, which have seen a spate of local clusters. Those working in these homes should try to avoid going to high-risk places. And while the suspension of a crew change can reduce the risk of spreading of the virus in the community, remember these crew members, sea crew as well as air crew members, were previously exempt from testing. But if these crews should arrive in Hong Kong by plane, then wait for the ships to arrive, change shifts, and then maybe stay in Hong Kong 1 or 2 days in between, there may be that risk of a transmission, experts say. However, remember, from Wednesday, ships without any cargo trade via Hong Kong won't be allowed to change their crew in the city. Crew rotation via Hong Kong will only be allowed for vessels bringing daily goods into the city. Air crew members coming to Hong Kong will also have to obtain proof that they tested negative for the virus 48 hours before their flight, or they will need to get tested when they arrive in the city.